I think they started investing in the Turbopack idea before Vite really became mainstream. Over the time, we actually had multiple conversations with Vercel. Hey, if you guys want to rebuild it on Vite, like we can collaborate.
Jude, I want to jump a little bit into talk a little bit about Nuxt. And I don't know if you saw, but I actually tried Nuxt and Next literally last week. And I must confess that I found Nuxt a little bit better because it felt less opinionated than Next, less boilerplate, less things by default. But I did notice that Next didn't came with Vite, unlike Nuxt, Astro, Svelte, and Solid Start.
Yep.
So I wanted to ask you, why do you think they go with Turbopack by default? Do they have anything that is specific to Turbopack, or what do you think about this?
There's a long story here because so Next.js is probably the OG JS meta framework, right? Nuxt was actually created inspired by Next. So Next kind of paved the way. They did a lot of their own thing. So they have very heavy abstractions on top of Webpack, customizations, custom compilation, a lot of stuff, which makes it really, really tightly coupled to Webpack, right? So over time, they also started, I think they started investing in the Turbopack idea before Vite really became mainstream, right? So around the time they started working on Turbopack, Vite was probably still like the new kid on the block. It's not like fully proven. And for Vercel, there was really no reason to bet on it just yet, right? So they made a really big bet on Turbopack because they believe, okay, we're gonna hire the author of Webpack, right, and rebuild a better bundler with Rust. Turns out that took much longer than they hoped. And over the time, we actually had multiple conversations with Vercel about I was like, hey, if you guys want to rebuild it on Vite, like we can collaborate. We actually even built a prototype that replicated a lot of Next.js API on top of Vite. But the challenging part is they did the Turbopack thing and the Next 15, which is very deeply intertwined with React Server components at the same time. So at that time, React Server components was designed to require bundler integration. They actually had a special thing that hooks into Webpack to do what React Server components needed because it needs multiple compiler passes to collect the server component call sites and then transform it. It's very, very complicated, right? So Vite, they just didn't have the ability to make it work simultaneously for two bundlers, two different compiler architectures. Also because of Vite's unbundled dev server, which makes it even more complicated for them to support. So it just kind of never was a good timing for them to actually do it. Right? They're also so deeply invested in Turbopack, it would be really awkward if they pulled out and then say, we're going to rebound on Vite, which is very, very risky because they have a lot of production customers running in production.
On Turbopack, yeah.
Yeah, and rebuilding on Vite, like you can imagine, it's going to be a very, very risky move, right? So
it's
I kind of understand.
Just too late. Yeah, it's too late, basically.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just there's never a good timing for Next to actually consider moving to Vite.
Right.
And they just kind of have to keep investing into Turbopack.